Everyone tagged in here. If you haven't hit that share button, everybody. We're a God-made pot and loves you a lot. It's our Sunday service. It's Blaze and Praise. Y'all better go grab your Bible. Go dust it off. Grab your weed, grab your bongs, grab your dabs. You gotta get elevated for the Lord. We'll be tagging everyone in here. We're getting dumb stupid with these phone movement right here. Tagging everybody in the mamas. Alright, we about to get started here. What up, bro? Chaplain coming in. We get started with our church service right now. It's Blaze and Praise. If you have any prayer requests, please throw them down in the comment box below. Bible. Today is Blaze and Praise. We're going to preach inside the Bible. Alright? Today we're going to be in Genesis chapter 3. Hit that share button, hit it now so other people can see it. Let's get our church name out there. If you have any prayer requests, please throw them down in the comment box below so other people can see it. And myself, speak it into existence. We got to demand it from the Lord. But we got to get started here with the Lord's Prayer. It goes, Our Father, our Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thou is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. And if you said the Lord's Prayer, guys, remember, if you want to be forgiven by the Lord, you got to forgive other people too. Got to forgive them. And guess what? The commandments of God does not change on earth or in heaven. Everything's the same. So if you can't do it here, if you can't go by the 10 commandments here on earth, how can you actually go by the 10 commandments in heaven if you can't even do it here? Think about that. That's a question that's a personal question that you gotta ask yourself. Alright. So I'm gonna give y'all each a couple seconds real quick to get to chapter 34. I'm about to get started. Hopefully everyone's having a good morning. Baxter, you better calm down. What's he barking at?
I have no idea.
Is he barking outside?
No, for a minute he was staring at me and just wouldn't stop.
Oh, he's okay, Bill.
He's because I'm black.
Get the friends here, get the dog going. Alright, that should be good enough time for people to get to chapter 34 in Genesis. But it says right here, we're going to pick it up. It is now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, had been born to Jacob, went out to visit the women of the land. And with Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, the ruler of that area, he saw her, he took her and raped her. His heart was drawn out to Dinah's daughter of Jacob. He loved the young woman and spoke tenderly to her. And Shechem said to the father Hamor, give me this girl as my wife. We're going to pause there. Do you think that this guy literally was talking very tender to her and he loved her in the very beginning? No. He just saw her as a piece of ass. Saw her in the very beginning, just saw her and said, hey, she's so hot, she's this, she looks good, I need to have sex with her. Didn't even ask her nothing. He just took her and started having sex and raped her. How would you feel about this? And now all of a sudden, guess what? Now he wants to marry her and love her? After he gets done raping her? How do you think she feels about that? We don't figure out what happens. When Jacob heard that his daughter, Dinah, had been defiled, his sons were in the fields with his livestock, so he did nothing about it until they come home. Jacob has some pretty good self-control, don't you think? Jacob has pretty amazing self-control. That he's finding out his daughter had just been raped, and guess what? He's not doing anything about it right now. He's going to wait till the sons get home. Then Shishim's father, Hamor, went out to talk with Jacob. Meanwhile, Jacob's son had come in from the field. As soon as they heard what had happened, they were shocked and furious because Shishim had done an outrageous thing in Israel by sleeping with Jacob's daughter, a thing that should not be done. And we know this is the first time that even Israel has even come up in the Bible before God changed his name, since God has changed Jacob's names to Israel. A little fun fact. And they're like, this can't be done because even Jacob know. Pretty sure Jacob told his sons that, guess what? My new name's going to be Israel. That's what God gave me. So that maybe that's the reason why when they said, guess what? This can't happen in our family and Israel's family. And they're pretty upset about it. Because they got to hear from who? Their father, Hamor. Because as he's telling Jacob everything's going on, guess what? The sons are hearing it. And these are actually, guess what? Her blood brothers. Because we already know Jacob, or now Israel, had not so many different wives. He had 2 wives, Leah and Rachel. And he also slept with their servants and had many other sons and daughters. But these sons came from Leah, which was her brothers as well. Her full-blown brothers. It says here, let's see, because it said this thing should not be done. But Hamor said to them, my son Shishim has his heart set on your daughter. Please give her to him as his wife, and intermarry with us. Give us your daughters, take our daughters for yourselves. You can settle among us. The land is open to you. Live in it, trade it, and acquire property in it. Because obviously when Jacob and Esau split their ways, they're still in the land of the Canaanites. They weren't in this kingdom. They could see it in sight. But you know what? There's a little property line, you would say. But he wants to open up their lands. He said, hey, you can come in our lands too. We want to intermingle together. His father is trying to push everything to the side. He's trying to take the rape and cover it up with, trying to paint a good picture over it. What, Julia? Then Shishim said to Dinah's father and brothers, let me find favor in your eyes, and I'll give you whatever you ask. Because he already knows that they're upset. He already knows that, guess what? His son has messed up. Where he's willing to do whatever that he can do to find favor in them, to say, hey, we're going to let it go. We're going to let it slide. Even though that, guess what? They defiled her. And we're going to say, hey, add this as if nothing ever happened. We're going to make this little peace treaty thing going on. He goes, make the price for the bride and the gift I am to bring as well as you like, and I'll pay whatever you ask. Only give me the young woman as my wife. Think about it. He'll do whatever he wants, whatever you can ask. Because their sister, Dinah, had been defiled, Jacob's son replied deceitfully. As they spoke to Shechem and his father Hamor, they said to them, "We can't do such a thing. We can't give our sister to a man who is not circumcised." You know, they have some little plot thing going on. They know to be part of God's people or be part of their family, guess what? They have to be circumcised because that's what God asked Jacob to do to his boys, or Abraham, sorry about that, asked Abraham to do to his family to make sure that his people are always circumcised. So you can tell the distinct from God's people and from other people, because not everyone got circumcised. Not all the tribes did. Oh, man. Say, hey, man, we want you to cut your pee-pee if you want to be our wife, or take our sister as your wife. Because they said that'd be a disgrace. He goes, "We will enter into an agreement with you on one condition only, that you become like us by circumcising all your males. Then we'll give you our daughters and take your daughters for ourselves." You hear that? They're talking about all the males in the whole city, of their whole town. They want all of them to be like that. "Then we'll give you our daughter and take your daughters for ourselves. We'll settle among you and become one people with you. But if you'll not agree to be circumcised, we'll take our sister and go." You know what's crazy? Dinah don't even have a say so far. No one even asked so far what Dinah wanted. You can just tell that they're pretty upset about it. Because guess what? All she was doing is just going to visit the woman. It even says it right there. Dinah, the daughter of Leah, had been born in Jacob, went out to visit the women of the land. She wasn't out there trying to go meet up with someone, cuddle up with someone. It wasn't no Netflix and then chilling. She wanted to hang out with other women. They want to be at Left Crest and request to be in their video. Okay. We're gonna let go. Left Crest come out on the Instagram so y'all know. I don't mind when people want to come in here. If you want to come in, come in. Let someone come on. What's up? Oh, never mind. They got out of it. I guess they got kind of scared. No worries. If y'all ever got something to say, if you have anything to say ever, it doesn't bother me. I'll bring you on. It doesn't bother me. Alright, that's how churches should be, just so y'all know. That's how churches back in the day, everyone pretty much talked. If they had something to say. It's even in the Bible where the Pharisees were talking when Jesus was talking. When other people were preaching, guess what? Jesus was talking. And they all answered each other. And that's how it should be in churches. People should be interacting with each other. You know what I mean? But showing that respect for one another. Like I was saying, Dinah was just going out trying to hang out with them. Checking out the new lands. Because guess what? If you remember, Abraham bought that land. They wanted to live with the Canaanites. Alright? So where Jacob and Esau is right now, that was still the Canaanite land. Where they were living, where Jacob's living, he bought that land. He paid full money for it. He got it on his own. We gotta remember that part of it. How did they get there? See where we pick up at, where we left off. So we were talking about, we'll give you our, it goes here in verse 15, we'll enter an agreement with you in one condition only, that you'll be like us and circumcise all your males. Then we'll give you our daughters and take your daughters for ourselves. We'll settle among you and become one people with you. But if you'll not agree to be circumcised, we'll take our sister and go. All right, that's where we left off. Sorry about that. All right, now we're in chapter 34, verse 18. It goes, their proposal seemed good to Hamor and his son Shisham. The young man who was the most honored of his father's family lost no time in doing what they said, because he was delighted with Jacob's daughter. So you know what? No one else had a say in the whole town. No one. Except for the ruler and his son. And guess what? They pretty much spoke for the whole city and the whole town. Said, guess what? All of y'all are getting circumcised just so I can have this girl who I raped for some reason, who I love now. Because here in verse 20 it goes, so Hamor and his son Shisham went to the gate of their city to speak to the men of their city. These men are friendly toward us. They said, let them live in our land and trade in it. The land has plenty of room for them. We can marry their daughters and they can marry ours. But the men will agree to live with us as one people, only the condition that our males be circumcised, as themselves are. So in their minds, guess what? As we're going to see it, they're going to be like, hey, since we're one people, they have to follow our rules and whatever you say, because guess what? You're the king now, right? Because this is what it says right here. This is what they thought. It goes, where are we at here? It goes, won't their livestock, their property, and all their other animals become ours? So let us agree to their terms, and they'll settle among us. So guess what? They're in their lands. It gets on their terms. So we got to do this little thing, and we got to cause this hurt in our lives. Guess what? We're going to take their stuff too when they get here. They already had that pre-planned out. What up, Mac OD? All the men who went out of the city gate agreed with Hamor and his son, Shisham, and every male in the city was circumcised. So they agreed to it. But we better figure out what's going to happen to them. What do you think is going to happen to them? Yeah.
The people who joined together.
Yeah. He never knows this. He never read this before. You haven't read this before, have you?
No, I think they'll get circumcised because.
Well, they said they would. So what do you think after they get circumcised? What do you think is going to happen to them? They already got circumcised.
Oh, so like once they move in, like all start living together.
Yeah, 3 days. It's been 3 days now.
It's been 3 days now.
Yeah.
And they're living together.
That's all it says. It says 3 days later.
I don't know. I guess I'd imagine though if there's gonna be some type of quarrel or some type of thing that they're not good at adjusting to, it's gonna cause some type of rift or problem.
Oh, it's going to cause a problem, all right. I want to see what type of problem it causes. This is what it says here. It goes 3 days later, while all of them were still in pain. And we got to remember now, there wasn't no hydrocodones back then. There wasn't no going to the doctor and getting a shot to get the pain to ease. All they did back then, guess what? Probably would have had some cannabis, some little bit of weed. You know, maybe some herbal stuff. Never know what they did. Some paste. I don't know. How would you feel? Like right now, say, I don't know if you're circumcised or not, it's not my business or whatever else, but imagine, say that you weren't. And right now you got cut.
Oh man, I couldn't do it.
No shot, no nothing.
I'd run away. I'd literally run away. I don't know if I could do it, or I'd have to get knocked out and then have it done.
How about you guys? If y'all, I don't know, it's not my business, but if someone had to take a knife to you, say we're gonna cut you right now, what would y'all say? Yes or no to them? That's what I want to know. How would y'all feel? I was like, oh no, you gotta run. Heck no. But you know what? It was a mind over power. Because guess what? They had, we're gonna get their land. We're gonna get their women. We're gonna take their things. They become ours too, but guess what? They're gonna get ours too. But they're not gonna take our stuff. But they gotta go by our rules because we're one people now. They didn't say that we had to follow under their stuff. We are following under our stuff. Look at that mindset. So it goes 3 days later while all of them were still in pain. 2 of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took their swords and attacked the unexpected city, killing every male. So while they're still in pain, you know, they can't really fight, they don't have very good movement. They hurting. But the anger and rage that guess what these brothers had, they took it out on the city. You might, oh man, that's messed up. But guess what? That's the brothers of them acting out. That's like when Cain killed Abel. There was nothing pre-planned about this when it came to Jacob or Israel. It wasn't on him. But they killed every male. They put Hamor and his son Shechem to the sword and took Dinah from him, from Shechem's house, and left. The sons of Jacob came upon the dead bodies and looted the city. Their sisters had been defiled. So what do you think the women were feeling like? Scared? What else could they do? But they killed every male. Imagine that being kids too, male kids. They weren't playing around. They said, hey, this city is done. Unless they had people who ran off from their tribe or whatever else, bloodline gone. But it says here, they seized their flocks and the herds and donkeys and everything else of theirs in the city. And out in the fields they carried off all their wealth and all their women and children, taking as plunder everything in the houses. So now their land got bigger. They got richer. Then Jacob, this is what he said, this is what their father says. Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, you have brought trouble on me by making me obnoxious in the Canaanites and the Perizzites. That's who they were. They killed them. That's what type of people they were in this town. It's kind of hard to pronounce that. Perizzites. Perizzits. The Perizzites. So now they have troubles because guess what? Like I told you before, Abraham bought that land back in the day for them. That's where they were living. Now they're causing trouble in this town. Now are you only causing trouble in our town, in the Canaanites' land? Now you're bringing trouble in the Perizzites' land. Because guess what? When you attack someone else's country, just how someone attacked the United States, guess what? We're going to be upset. We're going to come after you. Just like the war in Ukraine, they're pushing the Russians back the best they can, little by little. But Jacob's like, man, what's wrong with you kids? You know, we're settle this out. This is what you said. This is what you agreed to. He didn't know he was going to go. They were going to go kill the rest of the whole town. He goes, the people living in this land, we are few in numbers. And if they join forces against me and attack me, I and my household will be destroyed. Even when he knows that he has God on his back. Even though he has God on his back that's with him. He's not even thinking about that where he says, guess what? I have you. In Jacob's mind, or technically Israel's mindset, he's like, guess what? Things can still happen. We are not big in numbers. If they join forces, they're going to wipe us out. He's not even trying to include his brother's men. His brother Esau. He hadn't even told him what's going on. He would even take anything. Because guess what? If he would have taken something from him, they would have known, hey, Esau could have been it. He went to not cut him off, but make him separate. So he didn't want to even bring that in. He said, guess what? They could kill us. But you know what guess what the brother says? He goes, but they replied, should he have treated our sister like a prostitute? Alright. And guys, that's the end of chapter 35. Or chapter 34. We're going to do chapter 35 and 36 next week. Alright. Hopefully y'all can invite someone here. Thank y'all, people who are coming on now. I know y'all come on the end of it. Appreciate y'all coming on the Instagram. Y'all coming here. The 30 minutes have passed. Usually sometimes go an hour or not. But today I'm going to do like a 30-minute deal today. So people actually want to watch and not be all bored and sitting there sleeping through. I do highly suggest people to watch this at night when they're going to bed. Alright? It's very soothing. It's very easy to fall asleep to. And then guess what? You'll hear it in your dreams and you can like listen to the word in your dreams. And that's okay. You know, you go on YouTube and watch them all. Just put them on. Watch them before you go to bed. Alright? Put one on. And you'll fall asleep to that one. And it'll go through the next one. It'll keep you going to sleep. And you'll be hearing the Bible as you sleep. Alright? But anyways, I'm about to get off here. Please invite people here to the church service. And it's free to be a member of Ion Foundations Church. I'm going to tell you how to be a member. It's super easy. Alright? Super easy. Alright, this is how you be a member. We're doing the first commandment out of this book. And I found this. It's one of the missing books of the Bible. I didn't make it into it. And this is how I decided to be a member of our church. It's what you got to do. And it says, first of all, believe that there is one God who created and finished all things. So, like in the Bible here, there's a one main God. He created all things, right? His name is what? I am. His name is Yahweh. His name is God. Jesus. So many names. Jehovah. Allah. It's the same God. The main God. The main creator. And he made all things out of nothing. He alone is able to contain the whole, but he himself cannot be contained. So if you think that you can control God, if you think you're over God and you can, put God's arm down in an arm wrestling match or something like that, if you think you can take God, then I'll probably smoke a blunt with you, but we ain't gonna hang out too much. You know what I mean? We'll say, hey, what's up in the streets. If I let God change your life, I'll lead by example. But if you think that you can't take God and you know that there's no way in heck that you can overpower God, then guess what? That's what type of person I want in the church. You know what I mean? So it says here. So have faith in him and in fear him. I'm sorry. So have faith in him and fear him, and by that fear, exercise self-control. All right, because guess what? You have to have that self-control to not go against the Ten Commandments. All right, because if it doesn't go against the Ten Commandments, it's not a sin. If it don't break the 10, it's not a sin. Anything else is basically on your moral aspects. All right, it's all about morals. But guess what? You made it. You didn't break the 10 Commandments. All right? But it says, keep these commandments, and if you do, you'll put on the strength of righteousness, cast all wickedness from you, and live to God. Because if you had that self-control to, guess what, not break the 10 Commandments, if you don't break the 10 Commandments, guess what you're doing? You're living to God. All right, and right there is how you be a member of our church. If you say, hey, you want to do that, you want to work on your self-control, and you want to actually try to not break the 10 Commandments in life, then come on with it. That's how you be a member of this church. It's not about how much money you donate. It's not about anything like that. All right? And like this whole time, I have never been asking for money ever. But when we open up the church, if you want to donate money to the church, that's nice. That's okay. That'd be great. I'm working on right now. Where's that little paper at? Oh, you're rolling on it. But I'm working on getting, so y'all know, I went in front of the city council members. And they want me to do want me to get my marijuana business license for the church. So it can be all legit. City council's pretty much saying okay, but they want me to go through these hoops. And I'm okay with it. But once we get the building, gotta be rent, all that good stuff, and all the contributions, once we open it up to church, hopefully we go to the bills and everything. Alright? But I need y'all guys' help sooner or later. Alright? That's whenever I'll be asking for help donations. But if you don't donate, that's cool. But if you do not want to donate, please press that share button. Alright? That's fine. That's like donating to me anyways, because other people are going to see. And don't be afraid, because guess what? Your job's gonna see it. Oh, Grammy's gonna see it. Daddy, mommy's gonna see it. People who don't smoke weed's gonna see it. Guess what they're gonna see though? They're not gonna see you smoking the weed. They're gonna see me smoking the weed and preaching a message. Tell them to quit looking at the weed part of it. Start listening to the message part of it. Alright? Just because we smoke in the church, we just from a different tribe if you don't smoke. But the tribe of Judah smoked cannabis. They used it. Look it up. It even made CNN. And guess where Jesus Christ's tribe came from? The tribe of what? Judah.
So Jesus smoked?
I didn't say in the Bible. I haven't came across it. But I will say, guess what? Whenever they were in the spirits, the disciples, whenever he came down and God changed into the form, I think Moses was there. Who was with Moses? Another person was there, but the disciples was like, do you want me to make huts for you? Or, huts for them? Or, tents? To me, back then, they didn't have pipes and stuff. They actually smoked and used incense inside the huts things because what they breathed in, basically they're hotboxing. You know what I mean? So to me, when they did that, it was more spiritual because guess what? They were alive in the spirit. Yeah. And to get spiritual, guess what we use? We call it spiritual sesh. We call it blaze and praise. We use cannabis. We use marijuana. That's how we get spiritual. And that's what they did back in the days. And it's crazy. Look it up. It's amazing. And if you don't smoke weed, that's cool. You can still be a member of our church. What up, Whitfield Shira? Good afternoon. Like I said, if you don't smoke weed, you can still be a member. Alright, and I'm going to tell y'all how we're going to do it in the church, how we're going to raise money whenever the church opens up. When you donate $5 to the church, we're going to give you a free gram of weed. or you can do it, or we can do a point-based system. I haven't decided yet. I have two different ways we can do it. We can donate money to the church and give y'all blessing points, and you can use the blessing points. They can add up, or you don't use them, and that I can keep track of how many points people have, and that can be at the end of the year. It can be your tax write-off. You know what I mean? Or you can use them within the church. You know, if you don't, you can bring your own cannabis in the church. We don't care. All right, but if you need some from the church, and if you don't smoke weed, guess what? And you donate money to the church, we're gonna take that money and give that to the homeless. Their weed. They don't even have to beg. They don't. It's already there for them because guess what? The non-smokers, they already donate. Here's this weed for you. That's yours. Bam, bam, bam. It's already done. No begging whatsoever. You know? We're doing a lot of big things. And even the city council says, hey, you got a lot of good ideas. You know, they even thanked me for wanting to do it here. It was pretty cool. I even talked to the city administrator. We're doing it by the books. Like they wanted to, right? No lie. It's a real thing. So I need y'all's help if y'all want to be members, or I don't care if you don't want to be a member, but you want to come smoke in the church. That's fine. We can still hang out. You can still donate and not be a member of the church. That's cool. That's up to you. But watch from afar, and I promise you probably want to be a member. Probably want to be a member. Even if you're not smoking. Because you're going to see how much big things we're doing for everybody. Like we're going to do for everybody. Once I get the building, we already said it. I already have someone ready to open the building already. They said once I get approved by city council, we can do it there. But once I get but city council wants me to do all this hoops first. So we're doing it right. Sorry, I'm jibber jabbing right now. We're gonna be here for next week. For Blaze and Praise for Saturday and Sunday. Also, I'm probably gonna start doing on Thursdays. Get ready for Thursdays because I'm gonna start doing testimony Thursdays. If you have a testimony, you want to share your testimony, I'm gonna bring you on the church webpage. Not the church webpage, but you'll be on the church webpage live too if you want to go there. Because anytime I go live on the site on Facebook, it goes live on the church webpage too. So if you go check that out, but on the I Am Foundation, on 420 Minister Foundation site, that's what's gonna be at. We're gonna share the testimonies there. All right, Testimony Thursdays gonna be coming on. All right. But anyways, I love you all. Thank y'all for coming. Remember, God made pot, and He loves you a lot. If you want to be a member, like I said, hit me up. Let me know. Let everyone know. Share this to the world. I love y'all.